Hello everyone, today we are breaking down Season 1 Episode 4, Call Me Red of Dexter Resurrection. But before that, remember to like the video, helps out the channel a lot, and subscribe, and yada yada yada, let's get to it. The first thing we see is Dexter preparing for the serial killer dinner that Ronald Schmidt, Dexter's previous victim, was invited to. He's going to pose as him and get access to the party. A survivor of one of Ronald's attacks said how much Dexter looked like him. And with Ronald basically having no web presence, no one really knows what he looks like. So Dexter can pose as him relatively easy. The only issue is that a fingerprint is required for entry into this event. Now Dexter lopped off his thumb before getting rid of the rest of the body. He was able to make a print and glue it to his thumb for entry. We now find ourselves with Harrison. He gets a phone call from a jeweler saying his watch is ready for pickup. In episode 1, Ryan Foster gave him his watch to get it fixed. Harrison said he can't because he's at work, and then they offered to bring it to the hotel. He then says, "Never mind, I'll come get it." Harrison is a suspect in Ryan's murder. He does not want any more things linked between him and Ryan, and a watch showing up at the hotel would continue this narrative. We are back with Dexter. He gets picked up by Charlie for the dinner party. She makes no signs of being suspicious of Dexter, so his ruse is seemingly working. As they drive, we get some more info on Charlie, that she is not the one putting this gathering of people together. She just works for the person who is. She says it took 3 weeks to find out that Ronald was the dark passenger serial killer. Dexter in his head remarks it only took him 3 days. So Charlie is skilled at what she does, but Dexter is just a different animal. Dexter enters this fancy building and sees the decor. He's quite impressed. He didn't expect it to be this fancy. He meets the man who is putting this whole thing on, Leon Prater. We get some backstory on Leon, that he has been hosting this dinner party for years, and that he is just a fan. He does not partake in the murder business. We also find out that he is a venture capitalist, and clearly he has done quite well for himself. I think Leon wants to be a killer. He likes the idea of it, but when the tread meets the road, he doesn't have the stomach for it. So inviting serial killers to these parties and getting to hear their stories, he is vicariously living through them, without having to actually do the deed. He brings Dexter into this secret vault. They enter and we see it's like a serial killer museum. We see the John Wayne Gacy clown suit, the Jeffrey Dahmer fridge, then we see artifacts from killers of Dexter's past, from the Trinity Killer to his brother Brian Mosier, the ice truck killer. One, though, stood out to me, the New York Ripper, which gets mentioned twice in this episode. I think it will play a role either this season or in future seasons. And then Dexter sees an old friend, his blood slides. His eyes light up like it's Christmas morning. Dexter will definitely be trying to get these back at some point. One of the other serial killers shows up. Her name is Maya, aka Lady Vengeance. She is known for taking out sexual predators. Dexter is intrigued. It seems like she has a code like him. They aren't killing innocent people. The two continue to talk and kind of hit it off. Another killer arrives. He just gets done FaceTiming one of his children as he enters the room. His name is Al, also known as Rapunzel. In the vault from earlier, we see some of his trophies. He cuts the ponytails off his victims. He goes in for a hug on Dexter. They're trying to subvert expectations here a bit. Most people think killers are weird and not friendly, but Al is overly friendly, and is a dad, and is a family-oriented person. We meet the rest of the guests then. Gareth, the Gemini killer, and Lowell, the tattoo collector. Gareth has a bit of a nerdy personality, more of aloof, whereas Lowell seems like a charming, cool dude. Lowell kills his victims and then takes their tattoos. I'm not sure what the Gemini killer's deal is. He does have some trophies in the vault, but they are just pictures and they're kind of blurry, so we don't know what his shtick is yet. Dexter is kind of enjoying talking to the group. They get him. They have these urges to kill like him. He doesn't feel like such an outsider. Here he feels like one of the guys. Dinner is ready and the group takes their seats at the dinner table. We find out that one of the guests will not be joining them. Leon says he broke the only rule not to turn on the group, and he was dealt with, killed. Dexter realizes there is some danger to this after all. There are some great cuts of meat. I have no idea what they are, but they look delicious. And Dexter is thinking the same thing, but it turns out that Ronald was a vegan. So he gets whatever this thing is. Which is why I always respected Dexter as a show. They find moments of levity. Because obviously this show can be really dark and they could stay in that space, but they don't. And I respect that. After the dinner, Lowell has a presentation basically going over his next victim and his process. He stalks her on Instagram, and that it's not any tattoo he's looking for, it's the right tattoo on the right person. Anyways, he is now at the top of Dexter's kill list. After he finishes, Leon tells Dexter that he has to share next time and that there will be more of these dinner parties in the coming weeks. I'll be curious to see what Dexter is going to share because Ronald doesn't seem to really have a complicated process. He just gets in cars. Maybe Dexter will spruce it up a little bit more to impress the others. We find ourselves with Batista, where he finds Harrison at the hotel. Batista followed up on Dexter's pickup and found out that Harrison was the one driving it. He wants to speak with Harrison and see what he knows about his dad. Harrison still thinks Dexter is dead and Batista does not correct him. He does not tell him that he is alive. Batista does this because he thinks Harrison would be more willing to spill the beans about his dad being a murderer if he thinks he's still dead. He tells Harrison he just wants closure, and he should tell him if Dexter said anything about being a killer. That it doesn't matter now because he's dead, right? Harrison still does not rat on Dexter, and says he has to go back to work and leaves. Elsa sees Harrison walking away with a very concerned face and sees Batista's badge. She goes up to him and tells him that Harrison had nothing to do with Ryan Foster's murder, which is what she assumes Batista was speaking to Harrison about. Batista has no idea what she's talking about, but asks what happened. Elsa kinda screwed Harrison here. Now Harrison is on Batista's radar. We return to the party and Dexter and Mia continue to talk to one another. There seems to be a bit of a connection between these two. They're vibing, as the kids say. Dexter asks her what this is all about. What is Leon getting from this? Mia says they can talk tomorrow about it, just the two of them. So Dexter has a little bit of a date. For their meetup, they're going to go for a jog, which is a terrible first date. Dexter starts asking his questions about Leon. The first one is he a killer? And she says no. He likes hearing all the dirty little details, but that's it. So he gets some gratification from hearing these stories his guests tell. We then get some background on Mia and why she does what she does. She's always had this urge for violence, it seems. For a while, she was able to keep it at bay. She used ballet as a release for her pent-up rage. But one summer, she came back to visit her mother and sister and found out that her mother's boyfriend was abusing her sister. He was her first kill, and the rest was history. She invites Dexter back to her place. Ooh. Dexter, while in her Airbnb, finds her trophies. And there are a bunch of personal items like dog tags, bracelets, things she found on her victims. Now remember, she is known for killing sexual predators. Ryan Foster is a known sexual predator. She collects personal items. Harrison has Ryan's watch. I don't know, but I feel like she's going to be the one who takes the blame for Ryan's murder. I get her and Dexter are hitting it off, but she's going to do something that shows Dexter how evil she is, and then they will pin the murder on her. Of course, she will be dead anyways, so it won't really matter. Mia tells Dexter she's going to go for a shower and hints that maybe he could come too. Dexter's about to go when the ghost of Harry, his dad, tells him to remember about Lowell and the plans he has with him. Dexter begrudgingly tells her he has to leave. Dexter meets up with Lowell at a bar, and Lowell asks if they can do this some other time. Lowell is currently stalking his next victim. She's at the tattoo parlor as we speak. So once she is done, he is going to go in for the kill. Dexter thought he had more time, and now he has to kind of scramble. He does not have any of his tools with him, and he's about 2 hours away from his home. That's New York for you. We are now with detectives Wallace and Olivia. Wallace is trying to piece it together. Harrison is still a suspect, but Olivia doesn't think he could pull off such a sophisticated murder being so young. Olivia tells her to ease off the case a bit. The last time Wallace got hyper-fixated like this, she almost lost her job. The case she was working, the New York Ripper. I have some theories on who this could be. But anyways, Batista shows up. After hearing from Elsa about Ryan's murder, it was similar to Dexter's MO. the garbage bags, the cutting up bodies, etc. So he came to speak with the detectives about it. Now Bautista said it was similar to the Bay Harbor Butcher. He never named any names because bringing up Dexter would paint a big target on Harrison's back. And Bautista is more interested in taking down Dexter rather than seeing Harrison in jail. Lowell is following his victims and is about to knock her out when Dexter beats him to the punch and gets to him first. Dexter sets up his kill room in the tattoo parlor. Where he got all this plastic? No idea. Maybe there was a bodega. Lowell is on the kill table and Dexter asks why he keeps the skins. Lowell says it helps him keep the monster at bay. That when he gets the urge to kill, he looks at them and they calm him. Dexter knows what this is like with his blood slides, so he's going to start a new collection, starting with Lowell. Dexter, before murdering Lowell, reveals who he is, the Bay Harbor Butcher, and then stabs him. Lowell then tries to say something as he bleeds out. I'm curious what this was. Could it have been useful or was it just nothing? We are now back with Harrison at the hotel where Bautista comes to meet him. Bautista believes Harrison had something to do with Ryan's murder, that it was similar to the way Dexter would kill his victims, garbage bags, chopped up bodies. He believes Dexter taught Harrison how to do this. Harrison denies it, but it's written all over his face. Harrison leaves and starts to have a real crisis. Bautista told him that a lot of innocent people died because of Dexter, not just bad guys. And this rings in Harrison's head. The guilt gets to Harrison where he's about to walk into the police station and turn himself in, but Dexter stops him. Harrison is surprised to see his dad alive. And that is the end of the episode. So what did you think of it? Leave it down in the comments below. And if you want more Dexter Resurrection content, please subscribe and like the video. Check out the Twitter link in the description below. And as always, have an awesome day.